Hey everyone, excuse the messy shop. So I'm going to take a look at the new Ryobi rotary tool. This is battery powered 18 volt. It's a HP tool. It's brushless. It comes with a quick change. It says tool free. I'll show you how that works because it took me a second to figure that out. This one right here, I'm going to zoom in on the part number. Part number K1 at the end is the kit. And this is really important to catch on to. It is very small, but when you look on this box, it comes with a foot pedal. If you buy the tool only version, you do not get a foot pedal. So typically with the kit, I'm used to it coming with a battery. This one also comes with the foot pedal. So to me, that's why I bought this tool, and that's kind of a good and bad thing, and I'll go over that. I've got a couple of little things I don't like about this, but they're easily overcome. So overall, I've used this tool for about an hour. I like it. It does everything I've ever wanted a rotary tool to do and a little bit more. They've got some really cool features in here. Simple feature is that this little part that holds your tool is reversible left to right. So if you're a lefty, it might make it a little bit easier for you. So I like that. I like that it can stand on the desktop, or you can flip it and it can hang. That's a big deal for me because I want mine to hang. It also has the keyholes on the back, so you could mount it directly to a wall or a board or a desktop if you wanted to. So that's important. The foot pedal has a safety, which I like. Can't tell you how many times I've stepped on a foot pedal and it wasn't, I wasn't ready. Also keyholes, so if you want to mount this to a shelf or you want to mount it someplace, maybe you want to make it a knee pad so that you can attach it to a wall and you can have your knee right there. I do that with my sewing machine. I like that. So comes with a basic accessory kit. I would say nothing special in here, but there is one thing special in here, and it's this little tool right here, or accessory. So this has a special key on it to where it fits into the cutoff wheel. You can kind of see it's a little diamond shape or whatever shape that would be. I'm going to say green lantern shape. So these two match up. This is supposed to be for quick change. I'm going to say it's semi-quick change. So you unscrew this, and you can see the gap that it makes as you screw it or unscrew it. This gets closer together, and it's just going to wedge in there. But when you put these two together, I'll try to do this with one hand. So this is going to fit in there directly. You turn it and it locks itself in place. Big hands. So it locks itself in place. You screw it on, and eventually it will pinch the disc in here. So you come through the hole, turn it. You have to pull back and hold it while you tighten this down with your hand. It does have a little wrench lug on here. So you could use this tool to break it loose. It's not even this particular one. But you could use a tool to break it loose if you needed to. If you over tighten that somehow, it does have that feature. So this is cool. The drawback, the thing I don't like, one of the things I do not like about this tool specifically is they made this proprietary. So the only way you can use this adapter is to buy Ryobi cutoff wheels, which, if they have them available, that's great. However, when I go to any store that sells a Dremel tool, I know darn good and well they're going to have a huge amount of accessories. So this is the Dremel version, and the thing that's special about this one is you can do it with just one hand. There's no twisting, there's no turning, but I have not been able, and I'm going to show you why. If you look at the green lantern shape on this, and you look at the Dremel tool, it's got like almost a Batman style shape. The two just don't go together. It's not going to work. So that's a drawback. However, the Dremel attachments that do work with this very easy to use adapter. If I can pick anything up today. So you put it in, you turn it, it locks in place, it turns. Good to go, right? Nice and easy. The Dremel attachments do work with the Ryobi attachment. I don't have a Dremel cutoff blade to see if it will work. So it would be interesting to see if the Dremel accessories are going to work with the Ryobi tool adapter here. If not, and even if they do, I still think this one with the ease of use is going to be a better, better use for most people. I think this was $10. So for $10, it's a good little upgrade, but definitely not necessary. This tool will work just fine. I found I just had a hard time doing it one-handed or even two-handed. It's challenging. Like, you get it in there, you've got to hold it with one hand, you got to tighten it all up. It's tough. You got to screw it apart. There you go. So it's a little bit of work. I already own this part for the Dremel. I owned it for a generic little rotary tool I used to trim my dog's nails. So I had already bought this. So I will just be adding this to my kit. But like I said, the Dremel attachments, this particular Dremel attachment does work with the Ryobi spindle. So it'd be worth checking out if their cutoff blades also work with the Ryobi spindle. I don't have any handy, so I can't do that today. So this is a quick change collet. It does come with a regular collet if you want to go back to having to use a tool to tighten everything up. It's much smaller. And if you look at the size difference between this collet and this collet, it's pretty substantial. So if you had to get into a tight spot, I could totally understand wanting to switch back to this collet. But otherwise, this one's great. So the little wrench, it does lock in here. This is how you would change the collets. So you'd push this plunger. This is the tool stop right here. To do all your tool changes, you're going to need to use this little thumb lock here. So you push this little thumb lock, you rotate till, you're going to rotate your tool until it gets into place right there. And then this kind of ratchets on and off. And that's how you do your independent tool changes, is by ratcheting this piece on and off. But if you need to change the collet out completely, you're going to lock this in place. You're going to turn your collet till it stops. You crank this really hard. It unscrews. You screw the other one in. What I'm really interested in is there going to be a rapid change where you can just pull on, pull off, and not have to deal with even stopping the rotation. Like just a boom, you lift up and it pops off, kind of like an impact wrench would be. So when I put something in here, you get it to the right depth that you want. You're going to find that, again, the thumb rest, and just ratchet this, and that's open, and then you ratchet it counterclockwise, and now it's locked in place, ready to go. So the tool change took me a little bit to figure that out. It was a little challenging because there's, if you hear this click, that doesn't signify that the tool is unlocked or that the bit's unlocked. You still have to crank and unlock it, and then break it loose and pull it out. So counterclockwise locks it, and that's good to go. I like rotary tools. So one of the things I saw, it was a little deceiving because I saw this box with this package sitting right next to it, which had this housing in it. And I was like, oh man, those probably go together. They don't. So this is more for like one of their, like to make it something into a roto zip. It's got a threaded insert here that you would screw into above where the collet goes. This does not have any threads up here, so this cannot be attached to this handle, which, you know, it's not really the purpose of this tool. I just thought since they were side by side, maybe they would go together. Not true. So going back to this being a kit, came with a 2 amp battery, but the foot pedal. Now the foot pedal is the reason I bought this tool. It's the reason I bought the kit versus the tool only. And I like it, but I'm also a little disappointed. And I'll tell you why. And I'm going to show you somewhere in here, when you get your reading materials that most people just throw right in the garbage like I did, I had to go dig these out and do a little reading. And it tells you specifically when you are using the foot pedal that when you turn the machine on and you do not have the foot pedal depressed, the rotary tool will continue to spin at a low speed, approximately 1,000 RPMs. That's weird to me. I've not ever used a rotary tool with a foot pedal, but everything else I've had with a foot pedal turns off completely. So I'm going to show you what it does, and you can decide if it's an issue for you or not. I'm still on the fence. Machine's off. You have to rotate the knob all the way down to foot pedal. So if you leave it way up here, you get on all the time. On all the time. The foot pedal does nothing for you. Turn it off. Rotate all the way down to foot pedal. Turn it on. And you have action. This guy's running. It doesn't stop. If I reach up and grab it, I can stop it. Like that took zero force. I reached up and barely touched it. It stops running. But when it stops, nothing makes it turn on. You have to turn the machine off, or even this. You have to turn the machine off, turn it back on. It's in foot pedal mode. It runs a little tiny bit, but this is the only way you get full, true variable speed is using the foot pedal. Cannot get that variable speed out of this knob. Now while it's in foot pedal mode and I decide to use the knob, it takes it out of foot pedal mode and it sets it to the specific speed you're running at. So 5,000 RPMs, 10,000, 15,000, 18, 20, and 25. There's no real in between. There's indents on here. So it goes from one to the other. Back to foot pedal mode, slowed down to that nearly 1,000 RPMs. And like it's not really enough to cut you or hurt you or do anything. You know, I'm sure if that was super sharp it might, but it's not. But back to the foot pedal, and again, I like this. If you put a lot of pressure on here, nothing happens. That's important to me. I like that. But you just roll your foot over this. So that's pretty cool. So to me, I'm not sure if that's an issue. I mean, worst case, if I forgot to turn this tool off, it would drain the battery. That's about it. When you're using the tool on high, 25,000 RPMs, and you're using it to cut some wood or do a little sanding, this shaft warms up. It's not hot, it's not uncomfortable, but it's warm. So like I said, I used it off and on. I didn't run it consecutively for 1 hour, but off and on, it warmed up quite a bit. So those are my issues. The foot pedal tool, and then this little guy having to be screwed back and forth to tighten up your discs that are proprietary to Ryobi. You know, one fix is you switch over to the Dremel actual quick change tool, and this one, like I'm just resting it on my finger, you just slide it up and down. That's it. It's truly very quick. And again, it depends on what you're doing. I buy these little sanding abrasive pads. This is the only thing I actually use these for. I don't think I've ever used a cutoff wheel on a rotary tool. I've never had a reason to. If I came across a reason to, you know, this thing being quick change, that might be nice, but I don't know that it's worth it. However, I know that changing from sanding pad to sanding pad, going back and forth with that little thing, having to unscrew it, and even put this on to the one that was unscrewing, it was a little challenging. It took both hands, and I had to focus on what I was doing. So that's it. Overall, I do think this is a great tool. I like the function of it. I like that it can be hung up. This is a long enough that while I'm hanging it up, this goes all the way down to the ground. And like I said, I could totally see someone mounting this to a table, like a side, so that you can just roll your leg up against it. And you know, if you mounted it upside down, it'd probably be even easier. Just lift your knees, slide it down, and push your leg against that. But it does go all the way to the ground with the tool hanging at a regular, like basic height at my work desk. This shaft in here is specific to this machine. There are other machines that Ryobi makes, corded and cordless. They use a different shaft completely. You can go to some Home Depots. They actually sell these replacement shafts right off the shelf. And when I was at Home Depot the other day, I tried interchanging the shafts from each machine onto this and from this one onto the other ones. This is a much bigger shaft, like the square drive. That's much larger than all the other tools. They were tiny. And when I say tiny, I mean like tiny in diameter. I could see them easily being something that would break. This fits in here really nicely, screws on, gets a good positive lock on there. I like the stress handles or the stress relief there. And the other thing I've noticed I saw is this just pops right off, which is nice because I can see you wanting to grease this pretty frequently. Like I said, it does get warm, and I think popping that off, putting a little grease in there before major uses, if you're doing a lot of carving, I think that's going to be something you're going to want to do. I did watch another video where someone thought like, oh, it'll make it so easy to pop these handles off and interchange tools. And I don't see that. I wouldn't want to have a whole bunch of these tools stored somewhere. That's why this is a nice quick change tool head. If you had to go buy these handles and have them ready and waiting for you, you'd have to be doing some serious production to need that. But if that's your thing, then that's awesome. I like that this is, little pinky is locking it, and you can just, turn it, twist it and turn it, unlock that, pop a tool out, pop a new tool in. It comes with a bunch of these little things on here. So everything that I looked at in the standalone tool and with this tool kit, all this stuff is the same. The only thing different is the battery and the foot pedal. That's the only difference I've noticed. So I'm going to zoom in on this picture possibly. In this picture, the red cutting wheel, it actually shows it having a cutout very similar to the Dremel wheel, whereas this one is not like that at all. This one has a smooth round circle in the middle. And the Dremel wheel, or the Dremel tool itself, it has little ridges inside. Might be able to see those. So there's ridges inside to make it to where it's not a smooth circle. So I just noticed that in this picture, it's showing the one that goes for the Dremel. So maybe in the future, Ryobi is going to have those. That would be very nice. Because I like buying kits, like full kits like this. So if I could get all my cutoff wheels and a bunch of sanding stuff all in, one big kit so that it's easy to store and keep around, that would be nice. But Dremel sells those too. That is pretty much it. Like I said, I was a little disappointed this didn't fit. I'm hoping that they make something. One of the things I did want with this specific tool was I wanted the ability to use it to do small inlay work and some fine edge routing. So I'm not sure that that's something that's coming for this or not, but there are other tools that do that. I just wanted to have it all in one tool. So that's what I got. I personally would say if you don't need the foot pedal, then the tool only kit is the way to go. If you want this foot pedal, this is really, this is the way to get, this is the only way to get it as far as I know. It does say down here, Ryobi tool pedal only, and I did see that there are other tools out there that have the spot for the foot pedal. This is the only tool I saw out of all the tool kits that Ryobi is selling that came with a foot pedal, and that's why I snatched this up. I don't know how else you get this guy, so I'd be interested to see that. All right, thanks for watching. Sorry for the shaky video, and you guys have a good day.